Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What do you get when you mix two white boys, both named Mike? A thing for Justin Timberlake and a piercing above your eye. Was he high? Their stories alone could make you cry. That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.
Do you have something planned? Oh, I thought Feeney was like grabbing a revolver or something. He looked so prepared and ready to go for the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ahem. Camera's on.
Happy Hanukkah.
What's that guy's name who killed himself? That everyone who's obsessed with like very morbid, dark material. Yeah, the politician. What's his name?
I forget who it was, but he looked like Robert Ford a little bit. He kind of looked like that fat guy that smoked crack from Canada. And he just, he said something, put the trigger in his mouth, and people tried to stop him, but he blew the cap off the top of his dome.
Every single person that I know that knows who that guy is by name is a weird person. And I know 100%. Like a handful of them. And they're not bad people. It's like Zach Amico, Scott Chaplin. People that are just like dark, very, very damaged folks tend to be like, oh, because of this guy. And I'm like, who? And they're like, remember? And they send you the video again to remind you. And you're like, didn't need to see it ever.
So I passed your test of normalcy?
I guess so.
I think Ian Finance posts that video once a month.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So that I rest my case.
You could tell when Ian's dangerously near the end of his medication. Every time he posts that video, it's like, all right, need a re-up.
It's disturbing. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Irish Goodbye Podcast, a storytelling podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney, being joined, as always, by
Mike Cannon, every single goddamn time except once. And we have a special guest who actually filled in for me on that fateful day. For whatever reason, I don't think he knows the camera's working constantly on him because he was just kind of gerbil posing in his...
Well, dude, I've been I watched, as I was saying, I watched The Grinch.
Brendan Sagalow, everybody. Welcome, Brendan, to the show.
Brendan.
Thank you. I watched The Grinch last night, and the whole time I'm looking at his face going, like, holding that, and I'm like just doing it. Now all day I'm walking around my apartment making like chicken noodle soup, going like, ooh, chicken noodle soup. Like just like trying to feel like the fingers that he had. You know?
It's hilarious. Two things. One, I hope you are not putting too much pressure on your face because Jim Carrey had the added benefit of prosthetics.
But dude, a lot of that was him.
He does have a rubber face.
I know. But Brendan, I'm trying to give you a self-esteem bump because your face doesn't look anything like it, but I was telling you not to hate yourself because of that.
Thanks. I don't hate myself.
Oh, okay.
Not right now. Not at this particular moment.
Sorry, I'm projecting because I am dangerously close to the edge of a wild mental breakdown. I even stopped walking in the hallway last night. Was like, I feel like I'm gonna go nuts. Like I feel like I'm gonna just Tasmanian devil, just go and just maybe run through a wall.
You walk into that unfinished room of in your house, and it's just a fucking old school bar. You sit down and start talking to him. Hey, what'll it be?
Ever since the pat on the back heard around the world, all I've wanted to do is guzzle a bottle of whiskey.
You also, the house that you're staying in is kind of like you have like grandfather clocks and everything. Yeah. Like I could imagine you like spiraling into.
Yeah, dude, nothing is my own. It's wild. I'm walking in a weird dream world 100% of the time, but the dream is a nightmare right out of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. This is the second time I've referenced that show and probably movie and back-to-back shows. But for whatever reason, the hell that they were able to capture. You both have seen it, right?
Yeah.
Feeney's never. You would like it just for this, Feeney. It gives you a good idea of how to maybe like film a hell scene eventually, because they had all of these weird different hell options in this crazy like iron labyrinth, and each door they entered was a different nook of their subconscious that terrified them since they were children.
I would watch a whole movie of them just in that hell. I think that's like a really cool thing.
Yeah, they don't get enough credit.
Weird. I just wanted this because I don't want to get too far from this, but on the Grinch thing, I was realizing So I think there's a little bit of age difference here that's affecting this. So Brendan, your Grinch, the Grinch you grew up with, is Jim Carrey's Grinch.
Well, I'll stop you right there. The Grinch that I grew up with.
I was done with my sentence, so you didn't stop me. But
I'm going to stop you at the end of your sentence.
What a power move by the powerless.
Okay.
I give you permission to speak. Go ahead. I don't need your permission. Permission granted.
I'm going to take permission from you.
Wait. That's interesting. Go.
What is this, Joe Rogan? My Grinch for a very long time was the cartoon Grinch. That's the one. And then in 2003, Jim Carrey's Grinch came out, and I said, cartoon Grinch, fuck you forever. The Jim Carrey one is the one until the day I die.
You never dip back in just for like pure nostalgia?
Yeah. I do. And
also not fuck you forever, I suppose. Fuck you until later.
Yeah.
More like
it's like how I treat relationships.
It came out in
2003.
Yeah, see, I was already like in high school at that point, and so like that coming out was like, man, I wish this was 3 years earlier, and then I would have like, because I like, it's a fine movie. I think it's a good movie. I just am like, it's not my Grinch, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have ownership
want to co-host of your show.
Yeah.
You're a mean one, Mr. Cannon. You really are real bad.
You're furious at your father, but
you do not like your dad.
Mr. Cannon. He'll never touch you with a 25-foot hug.
I'm going to open for you until the day I die.
I liked you both giving the other the option to alternate, but then you both wanted to say the same cadence line, so you both just kept repeating and talking over one another. Brendan was like, shh, your dad. Like, like,
now I'll stop you right there. My turn on this bar.
Yeah,
go.
Dude, I have some crazy things to discuss before we get into the Bachelor.
I got
Bachelor Sagalow.
Okay,
just some quick hits. Number one, very exciting development when this giant snow came. Jeet fucking loves snow. He's going crazy. He's running all in it. We're running up and down the street in the middle of the night. He's like a fucking pig and shit, man. He's having a great time. So I've just been, every time we go on a walk, it's like he's the happiest he's ever been. The sidewalks are all cleared now, but he's choosing to walk on the snow instead. So he's like climbing up embankments and shit.
He's like a kid with new galoshes. He's just jumping in puddles.
Yes, exactly. Well, he still jumps over the puddles, which is hilarious because he's afraid of water. But this is a even bigger development, the likes of which is sure to rock the very foundation of this podcast. So, as you guys remember, my last road gig pre me getting COVID was the same weekend I got Jeet, which was when I was in St. Paul, Minnesota, and that's when I was doing the comedy camp club show, right? So I was doing a TikTok live this past week, and this girl Kaya came in here who's been following me since Periscope, and she'd been following me for years, and she finally came out to see a show when I was in St. Paul. So she came out with her husband. They got a babysitter. It was a whole thing, and we hung out, we drank, we smoked a little bit, we just had a good time and stuff. And that whole weekend, right? And then that night, I ended up like going out to when I went up to meet up with Rel, and then I stayed out with him until fucking 5 a.m, took a 7 a.m. flight, and then I was super hungover and worn down. And then when I got back to New York, went and got Jeet. So it was like that whole thing. And then by like Monday or Tuesday, I had COVID full blown. And I figured it was because of like whenever I get really, really drunk and then get no sleep, I always tend to get sick pretty shortly thereafter, just because the immune system is lower and all that other stuff. So I'm talking to Kaya, and she's like, hey, just a heads up, I got COVID at your show and was sick for 5 months. And I was like, what?
Wow.
And she was like, yeah, she was like, somebody at that show had it, because the day I got there was like the weekend they announced the first positive test in Minnesota. And so whoever, there was some fucking super spreader at that at my comedy show that gave it to me, Kaya, her husband, my other friend who was there at the time, and got all of us sick. And by the time I got in, started getting all the symptoms, it wasn't until like Monday or Tuesday, so I didn't ever put the clues together. But that's where I got it from, was Minnesota.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
And that was in that bar that was like the fucking hockey. It was like those hockey championships or whatever the fuck. So there was like people packed in every single bar, breathing on one another.
Oh man,
you gave it to everybody.
You
Kaya gave it to everybody.
Country.
You were a Rose Garden Feeney. Holy shit!
It was great. I think I'm trying to figure out who gave it to me. I was like, they should have done. I wish they did contract tracing back then. We could have figured out everybody at the show and figured out who the person who came in with the sniffles was, and we could have really got it.
That's crazy. Do you know what I was thinking of the whole time you were telling that story, though, is how funny it is, like, that we're kind of at this place where, if you buy a ticket to our show and come to it intentionally and you're a fan of ours, you get to hang out with us for the whole night.
Almost too much.
It's not even a meet and greet. We're your friend at that
We'll
point.
walk through your cars.
So you buy a ticket to be our friend.
Yeah.
Dude, when I'm in another city, I love that. I like, it's different if I'm like just doing like, Uncle Vinny's or something, but if it's like, or one nighter, but if I'm like in another city where I'm like, I got nothing to do, I don't know where to drink, I don't know where to go out, and then people are like, you want to grab a drink? We know a good spot. I'm like, that's it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. But,
I just always feel so weird because people just, like, every time I go out with people from the show, I feel like at a certain point they're like, oh, this guy's a fucking weirdo.
When you're crying in your beer talking about show business isn't fair.
Yeah. You guys don't get it, man.
You guys
health
are
insurance.
But it's just like hard. It's just a hard thing. Like, it just seems really glamorous, but it's just more difficult than you'd anticipate.
You guys really should listen to Garbage Days.
I've been telling Scott it's like the most underrated podcast. I think we're getting looked at by Gas Digital, but you're like, can I have a chicken finger? You just start eating on your plate.
They're like, you mind if I spot you later for that? Can you get me? Can you spot me for this?
I'm good for it.
Yeah, I'm good for it. I just gotta wait for that check to clear before I can get all these honey mustard things.
They pay me at the end of the weekend because I came here last year and I got drunk and spent it all the first night.
Do you guys know any single people?
Tinder's like, I don't know. I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
So, and one last thing. This is my last. Was my last road gig of 2020, which just took place. I was at City Steam on what was it? Saturday. I was at City Steam.
What happened to the inside of that room?
Well, they changed it now. Now they're so instead of going downstairs, they're using a different back room straight back. So they have it's like another separated room. It's not like, and they're doing so it's still like it's like set up for success and everything. But I go there and what the fuck was his name that opened? I forgot. But he's Bob Marley's opener. He knows you. He's Cannon.
Me?
He's his name is Brian something.
Oh, does he open for Brewer too?
I don't know, like Golecki or something with like a Lecky.
Brian Galecki is from Roseanne, and
he looks like he could be on Roseanne. Actually, he would be a very, very clear character.
Isn't that the sassy twat daughter's boyfriend? Galecki, isn't he also in Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, they both are.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, that guy. Yeah, that guy stinks.
You don't like that guy?
This isn't that
I don't
guy.
like him from his turn in Entourage as
he was
Sloane's
a
brief
heel in
boyfriend.
Entourage.
He was a twat, and for that I'll hate him forever.
But so he's so whatever. So we're doing the show, and it's like whatever there is. There's probably like 30 people there. It sold 50. Like 50 is like the capacity, so it's a little more than half full. But the first problem was the classic comedy club problem, and for the love of God, if any comedy club anywhere is listening to this, seat from front to back. And that's it. Just do that. Maybe add some security if you can. But the difference that it makes, I walked into the room.
It's so fucking easy. It bothers me so much to put on a good show, seat everybody from the front to the back. When you bring somebody up, have a very nice voice, go, ladies and gentlemen, how are you feeling? That's all you fucking need.
Now they didn't have anybody seating anyone, I assume.
No, they probably just had grab onto this rat's tail.
No. Here's the thing: they did have somebody sitting there taking tickets and but was kind of like, hey, where do you guys want to sit? And then walking them over to their table. But the whole back, literally the back row, was lined up with I'd say 22 of the 28 or 30 people that were there. They were they had them all against the back wall because no one wants to sit in the front, obviously. And
good thing they were clustered together though in the back.
Well, they still spread them out, but it looked like what I was saying it looked like America's Got Talent judges. You know what I'm saying? Like they were all so far away. It felt like I was on like a theater stage.
Yeah, you're doing comedy Red Rover.
And there's just a moat of these empty tables in the front that they could have been in, but instead I'm like, and it just is such a weird. It's hard to articulate for people who aren't comedians the disconnect that provides, but it is not great, so but whatever. So then I'm like setting up my camera as the feature is finishing up his act. He's doing well, and I set my camera up in like all the way in the corner where there's like one foretop that nobody's sitting at, and I'm like, and I set that up. So then I like set it all up. He's doing his last joke, the host comes back on, he's doing some time before he brings me up, and I'm just like waiting to press record, and then the fucking person, one of the like people who were seating people, went and sat a group of 4 right behind my camera, like right at that foretop that was in the back corner. And I'm like, there's all these seats. And I'm and also it's a weird thing when you're like the cameraman and you're like standing waiting and it'd be like, oh, this is going to be my camera. It's going to be directly in front of you the entire show. So sorry. And then run up on stage. It just is like, it's like 3 layers.
Did you leave it there?
I did. I didn't have time. They were like, and so get ready for your next meeting. So like, I was immediately like, all frazzled and shit. So
I mean, I know COVID has really lowered our standards in terms of how we operate and where we perform and, what we're willing to go through for fucking stage time and money. But it's just so simple that anybody that even owns a venue or an outdoor space or anything that doesn't understand that even if you're spreading them out, even if you want them to sit back from the stage, then start from the second row, start from the third row, whatever it may be, but start from there, go to the back. If you don't know that, you should be split in the face with a fucking crowbar.
Dude.
And that shit where you're setting up your camera and somebody like just is like, cool, this is great, perfect. I'm going to continue the trend of seating this fucking like hands across America line while you perform comedy and take this table. It's like you want to turn and you want to be like, are you fucking legitimately disabled? Like, I want to know this before I unload on you, because if this is some sort of program that allowed you to be employed, then I apologize. Then my expectations are too high. I didn't.
It's like that coffee shop I went to in South Carolina that time.
Yeah, exactly. If you're like, if that's what this is, okay, I understand. I'll I'll try to speak to you in bigger gesticulations or whatever for you to get it. I'll draw a goddamn crayon pic for you to understand that you shouldn't seat people here. But Jesus Christ, it pales beyond this is your job. It's like you could legitimately take a person off the street of Sweden and bum toss them into that place, hand signal that they should seat people, and they wouldn't put a person at that table.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and I even said when he was coming by with them, I was like, oh, really? Like that was the most I could muster up to be like, because I had such little time. I couldn't be like, no, don't do that. Put him over here. So instead I was just kind of like, oh, really? Like what? Oh, okay.
It fucking blows my mind. It's like there are so many people that do it right and really take pride. Okay, there's not. Then I'm kind of being a little political here. Okay, just let me do this. All right, fine. Everyone is trash.
Burn the business down, Brendan.
Burn it down. No, but
it's so funny because Brendan's getting mad as there's a crazy hard shadow on half of his face, so he looks like he's and something's happening, dude. You got to fix whatever's happening with the lighting on your thing because it keeps flickering like solar flares, and I keep feeling like you're about to.
The sun is right there. And
fix the sun.
Okay, you know what I'll do? I don't. There's nothing I can do.
Why are you so red? Did you go skiing?
I went skiing
it's
today.
that hard lighting.
Oh.
It's just that hard lighting.
All right,
I guess.
sorry everybody,
but
I don't know what to do here. So
like you're talking shit about somebody right next to you. This fucking guy over
this
here.
fucking guy. But it's like it's so easy to just take and if you take pride in putting these shows on, you will feel good about yourself. When it's a good show and you do everything right, when it's done, people will come up to you, that was a great show. They'll love it and you'll start taking pride in it. And nobody fucking takes pride in their stupid bar shows.
Are you hoping? Yeah. Are you hoping people are listening to this and taking notes, and they'll be like, you know what, Brendan's right. I should put a little elbow grease into my setup.
Well, if nothing else,
I appreciate Irish guys.
I mean,
if nothing else, maybe the comedy club goers can write that on their comment cards next time they go to a comedy club, and it's not seated from front to back. So anyway, so I go on stage. It's going well up top. I'm like, I'm talking to people. I'm riffing. I'm just kind of having fun. And I also hadn't been on stage in like. It felt like I guess maybe like a week. So it just was, I was a little like off, I was in a weird headspace. And so I start talking to them. They're good. And then the only table that is the closest table to the stage, which is still probably, 8 feet to 10 feet back from the stage, is this 4-top, 2 women very dressed up and drunk, and 2 guys who are obviously like their dates that are with them and stuff. And probably like 10 minutes into the set, I'm noticing that they're just cafeteria talking, just like by themselves, like they're in their own world. They're commenting on jokes. They're saying little things. They're like, we like your hair product. Like they're just
they
like
came
saying,
in late.
No, they didn't come in late. Shockingly, they were there, but they were just like for sure drunk and just like very like, selfie type people where it's all about them and stuff. So like initially I go, all right, here's what I'll do, which is a fun tactic when people aren't paying attention. You just make fun of them to everybody else without them realizing. And the longer you make fun of them while they're not paying attention, the funnier the bit gets. So we're all like growing, laughing as we're fucking talking about these people who aren't paying attention or whatever the fuck. So then I go back into material. So on and off throughout the set, they're just talking. They're just fucking talking. And you can see other audience members starting to like look over at them, just being like, rude. So now I'm distracted by how they're distracted. And some of the jokes weren't like hitting where I'm like, guys, like, some of this stuff is new and you're justified to not come with me on this. But other stuff, it's like, come on, So I'm starting to go like, what the fuck? So I go, all right, let me engage them once with the hopes that when I engage them, they will at least be like, they're talking about us. We're part of the show now. And then they'll pay attention for a little while. And then I could trick them into fucking thinking the show's about them or whatever. So I go, they're drinking 4 bright pink drinks in martini glasses. So I'm having a sip of my drink and I go, oh, what are you drinking? You got Cosmos there? And one girl goes, Cosmos? No. And then the other girl goes, these are fucking nasty. These are disgusting. She points to it. The bartender and only server and guy who's doing the entire room of work is standing 3 feet from their table, like making a drink. And he just goes, oh, thanks. Like he just says that.
Were you the bartender?
No, I was on stage going like, and then so he's like, oh, thanks, appreciate that. And so then I start making fun of them for being like, Jesus, I was like, we thought we hated them before when they were just being rude. Now we didn't even know they were going to be rude to a service industry, a guy who's fucking trying to just make ends meet here. So I start going, and then now they're mad because they're like, feel justified, and they go, well, you asked us what the drinks were. So we're telling you they're fucking nasty. And I'm like, yeah, I just asked what you were drinking. I didn't ask like why. I didn't tell you to assault the person next to you. You know what I'm saying? This poor server this guy who's like also the nicest person on the planet. Right. So I start like talking to, and then she started retelling what just happened. Like, no, so you asked and I was like, and so and I just go like, yeah, you retelling it isn't helping your case. It's not helping the show. And it gets to that moment where I have that fork in the road where I go, I could go left here, and this could just be complete, like, Bill Burr, Philadelphia. Everybody else is on my side, so let's just burn this whole fucking thing down and make them either get up or have their boyfriends fucking charge me and fight me. Or the other option, which I was like, it was because I felt people getting uncomfortable around the area. They were uncomfortable for how much of assholes that table were being. But like,
I'm uncomfortable.
It was starting, there was just not laughs anymore. Like, it was just a thing where they were like, oh God. So I was like, you know what? Let me just fuck. So I went on the rant about them for a second, but then like transitioned it into a couple other things. I started doing jokes. And then for the last 15 minutes of the set, it was just like terrible, like nuclear atom bomb energy had gone off. And just the crowd was just like, they were like half interested, but then they that group went back to talking. And of course there's no security kicking them out. So it was just this thing of me just plowing through for the last 15 minutes angrily and like frustrated and looking at them. And then I'm like doing jokes that I know work. I did one or two. I did one from the album, and it just was like, ha, 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 that kind of a thing. And I just, at the end of it, was just like, all right, that's it. And then just fucking drove back from Hartford furious the whole way home, being like, of all of the fucking, of course 2020 would come to an end with fucking two twatty fucking talking, like people that make it about that. And it wasn't the boyfriends. The boyfriends were like kind of just like the listening machines for the squawking. And it's like, of all the road gigs that I did in 2020, which there weren't that many because of COVID, all of them were fucking great because people were excited. Even when they were in weird settings or bad setups, they were great because people were excited to see comedy and they were fucking anxious to be out, and they were great. But this was the one bad road gig that I did, and it was the fucking last road gig. So now I just have to sit on it until fucking January, until I go to Mohegan Sun. And it's just that thing where you're like, I did have fun in the first half of the set, but those last 15 minutes made me feel like it's just like, nope, it was bad.
Brutal,
the whole thing was bad.
Brutal. This is why I get why Bill Hicks would just fucking at the end of his life just being like, you're a fucking cow. You're the fucking worst. You should be dead. You're scum. Like, I am at that point. I think I just want to fucking, I wouldn't, but
it just made me so mad.
That maybe was my favorite moment. Brendan saying, "I'm at that point, probably not." He just on himself mid-threat to an audience that doesn't yet exist.
Long Island sucks. It's all right.
I mean, here's the thing, dude. I feel for you. That absolutely sucks. That last 15 minutes blows. Maybe you got something out of the. If you did tape it, maybe
I wish I did tape it, and it's not even good enough. I watched it last night, and it just made me re-mad. And it's not even like, that's where I was like, I kind of wish I went scorched earth, but I don't think that the audience would have come with me on that. Like, they seemed like they were like, just forget them, move on. It's because then you feel like the comic who's, nothing's worse than the comic who's doing well, but one person doesn't like them, and they're like, what the fuck? And then they ruin the whole show by focusing on the one negative. So I was like, let me take this one negative out of it, try and go back to having a good show. And it just wasn't possible.
Yeah, but if that negative is audibly speaking and interrupting said comic's momentum, I would have no problem with that comic punting their cranium directly off their fucking vertebrae.
Yeah, it was very...
But hey, at least you got to do a show, buddy. I mean, I was supposed to film a fucking special, and it got dumped on snow, so that's how I ended my fucking 2020.
I have actually a funny story about that. Is my uncle lives in Huntington, right by the Paramount, where we were supposed to perform, and you were supposed to do your special. Yeah. And my uncle, this is 2 days later than when we were supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. He texts me, and he goes, "When are you going up?" And I go, "What are you talking about?" And he calls me and he goes, "Weren't you supposed to do a show tonight?" And I went, "No, it was 2 days ago and it got canceled." And he went, "Oh, that's strange, because I asked the bartender, I was going to go, and the bartender said, no, it got canceled, but they're moving it to Thursday or something. They're moving it to Friday or Thursday." And then I was like, well, this is my first time hearing about it. So,
I mean, that may be the case. I don't know. They didn't ask me.
With your headliner, Mike Blannon.
I'm mad at my mom.
Bizarro Cannon.
It's a Bizarro
Cannon. I'm just so happy about everything.
Jet black hair, two brothers, great dad, horrible mother.
It turns out Mike is the evil twin.
Buddy, at this point, I could totally. I was screaming at the poison in my body. Do you ever do that where you're just like, just get out? Just like, what are you doing in here?
Yeah.
I need you to not feel welcome in my body. I'm trying to be positive and whatever.
100%.
My wiring or whatever is just like, it's hitting the puddles and zapping and everybody's about to get killed.
Dude, yes. 100. I was there the other day. It's just, you feel like, have you ever been like, too negative in a day where you're like, well, this is gonna suck, and then I'm like, why? Stop it. Stop. Like, I hear myself saying that to people, and I'm like, they're definitely walking away going like, that guy's that sucks.
Yeah, yesterday I woke up and I immediately was like, nope. Like, it was the most instant nope that I've had since, I don't know, years ago when I was battling the most hardcore depression of my life, and I was just like, I am not feeling it. This already sucks. I was exhausted all day, which, made me paranoid that I have like COVID or whatever. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, I was talking to Nicole and she's like, no, you're depressed. Like that's part of your depression symptoms. That surfaces all the time. And I'm like, oh, it's like, yeah. Maybe even while it's happening, I don't like admitting it. That's okay, cool.
You know what you should do to help get you out of your funk?
Read the 5-star reviews.
You're goddamn right you should. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes if you haven't.
Yeah, Brendan, really that's what professional radio is, you garbage day sack of shit.
All right.
Check out the show. Leave us a review. Tell a friend about the podcast. We love that you guys are coming along for the ride. The more the merrier. Get people on the train. Send them the video. Send them the YouTube. We have the videos up there. If you guys want to support the show in other ways, you can go to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code IGP. You get a free trial. 2-week free trial to the show. You get access to all of our shows. We have over 200 episodes. Only 15 are free on iTunes. So if you want the rest of them, go get them behind the paywall there. There's HD video. There's bonus content. There's all the other episodes.
So many guests.
22 shows on the network and all of their shows. So you're talking like hundreds of thousands of hours of content that's available for a 2-week free trial for free. And it's great. And it also gives us some money. And most importantly, it also gives you, well, not most importantly, but an additional benefit is it gives you a discount to podcastmerch.com, which you can go anyway. We have our Yes, Very Progress, our new shirt that's up right now from our past episode. If you guys are interested in that, check that out. We also got the classic Popeyes, the Supreme, the pub tee, and the hoodies, which, by the way, the it's all over, folks. I got my hoodies and they are super comfortable and made of the right material. These are I got the ones that you guys, the consumers, get. At first they tried to give me the rinky dink ones that come inside of a fortune cookie, and I said no thank you. And so now these new ones are great, and they may even make
the ones Harrington uses as bedding.
Yeah.
I would love if you finally got them and you were like, these are okay.
Yeah. No, they're fucking great. They were worth the wait. So and it's perfect weather for it now, so it's great. So buy some. It's a great holiday gift to give to somebody, or give them a subscription to Gas Digital. That's also a good gift, and it's pretty cheap. So think about that. If you want to support the show in other ways, if you want to send us a story, send us to irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com. We have a bunch of them. We're going to get to them. We pepper them in on slow weeks when we don't have a ton to talk about. So if you did send us, we got it. We will get to them, and we appreciate that. Follow us on social media at Irish Goodbye Podcast and stuff across the board. And even if this isn't enough for you, if you still somehow need more content, well, then don't worry, baby birds. We'll feed you, because we got another podcast called What's the Scenario, which is available right now everywhere on Patreon. Not everywhere, but everywhere on Patreon. That is, if you go to the exact website, patreon.com/scenariopod. We got a bunch of different texts. Mike, take it away.
Yeah, so we got tiers starting at $5. We have we do 3 to 4 hours of content every single week. We do 3 episodes of What's the Scenario. Plus, I do my own solo pod on there. Feeney and Sagalow both put up their sketches early there every single week. I put up behind the scenes stuff and all of my sketches up there early as well. So we're flooding that thing with content. So if you guys like the three of us together, if you like hypotheticals, also just bullshitting between friends in a it's actually way more structured than most of what we do, since it's question by question. So it's kind of a cool little different take of our comedy, and obviously all the money goes to help us during this time and in the future. But also, yeah, follow us social media at I am Mike Cannon, at I am Mike Feeney, at Brendan Sagalow. Subscribe again if you don't have the money. We completely get it. Everybody's going through some shit right now. Hell, I have people not even paying me, even though they're contractually obligated to do so, and acting like I'm an insane person for continuing to demand it 3 weeks later. Don't worry, I'm a week away from saying who it is. I cannot fucking wait, dude. I can't wait to absolutely just direct the listeners of this show and every platform that I have at this fucking dog shit service, because we're going to fucking burn it to the ground. Fuck these people and fuck this fucking bullshit with the not pay.
You know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for next week, the day before we record, they do pay you, and you have to be like, guys, big announcement, super cool company I'm doing this special with. You're going to love them. They're the best, so check it, keep an eye out on them. They're growing, dude.
We're a family now.
Netflix, watch out.
Hey, family could easily pay me off to be involved in my life, so they are, it's not a far stretch. But yeah, what was I talking about? Just anger?
You're talking about YouTube.
Oh, yeah. YouTube, Mike Cannon comedy, Mike Feeney comedy, Brendan Sagalow. Is it comedy?
No, it's just Brendan Sagalow.
Brendan Sagalow on YouTube. So that is a huge help for us, huge support. All the numbers mean something. So click subscribe, click follow. All that stuff really adds up and helps us out.
Oh yeah,
we love you very much. And if you guys want to get tickets, they're on sale now. To Mike's, I love Mike the way you put it, because now, especially after that last gig, is the way I have to just look forward to it. Is that I'm guaranteed that I'm a stand-up comedian next year, because I have one date next year so far, which will be Comics Mohegan Sun, January 7th through the 9th. And wouldn't you know it, Brendan the Sneaky Raccoon Sagalow will be there with me. So come party with us. They have even more restrictions, super limited seats. All the bars and everything there closes at 10. Everything is like it's they've actually been forced to have some sort of standards and restrictions, which should only benefit everybody. So get tickets to that now on my website, MikeFeeneyComedy.com. But this whole thing, let's hold on one sec. I'm just reading something. Okay, all right. So we're going to go into our next segment, which is our Bachelor segment.
That's right. Sagchler.
All right, Brendan, if you will, just hang back so we can sell you.
Hey, man.
You're not doing yourself any favors, kid. And
as long as I have an Instagram, it's not going to look good for anybody.
Well, guys, obviously things aren't ideal. We're not in the same studio right now. I am, after the new year, that's going to change. We're going to be back in the same room. The energy will be back up. But while we are out on our own right now, we decided to bring back one of our popular early quarantine themes, which was Bachelorette Alex Scalato. And obviously she found love, not from that show, but from something else. And, so she's happy as a clam. And we're hoping to get our little Brendan's dick wet. So we're doing Bachelor Brendan Sagalow. And we have, yes, Brendan?
And I would also like to get my heart wet as well. So I just want you to know this ain't just about
trust me, Brendan, your heart is already sweating. But,
and I would like to have my heart clogged with fuck.
All right, ladies, he really tries. I think that's the clear thing here, is that his efforts will be there. Whether or not he can streamline any sort of coherent thought is again up for debate, but either way,
let's not swivel around again, because we're focusing. It's a bad focus. So let's just stay this way, and then that way, don't make a face. We're trying to hide, the hair. So let's fix it. Well, it gets. The further back it goes, it's. I don't know. Do I have to say it?
Alex unmuted herself to laugh at your hair.
Wow.
I'm just saying, it looks fucking great from the front. So keep it from the front. The more back you go, it starts, it's.
What am I going to not be myself? I don't give a fuck.
And I mean, Jesus Christ, Alex, can you just do that the whole episode? Because there were several long pause silences.
Brendan's taking pictures of the back of his head.
Not bad. Dude, not bad.
That was the worst.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm getting older, you know?
That looked like
that
a
just happens.
first attempt at a crop circle.
Yeah. This is where you get abducted and go to Five Guys.
Brendan, hold that picture up. It might be the worst picture you've ever taken. It's in your recently deleted. I know you got it. It's a terrible picture. Anyway,
look, I'm getting older, man. You know, I'm not going to be ashamed of myself.
You're younger than all of us. But let's, Alex. So let's
fucking Alex. Hey. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm mad. I've
literally never seen Brendan lock up like this in my entire life. It's like I think you're excited, right? Are you a little excited for this?
I'm very excited. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Now, here's a question that I'm afraid to ask, but I want to make sure. Did we get submissions?
We did. We got a couple submissions.
Nice.
Hey, a couple.
And here's the thing. This is why that's impressive.
Like one.
No, but this is why that's impressive though. And we want to reiterate for next whatever,
Bachelor.
the next time we're taking in submissions as well, is that we're recording this on the day our episode is airing on iTunes. So the day the day it came out for free is the day most people are hearing about the challenge for the very first time. So the fact that we've gotten submissions just off of social media and just off of people watching it live on Gas Digital and also on YouTube, that's really great. So what we ask of you is we're going to ask Brendan some preliminary questions. We're going to see what he wants, see what he has in mind for a potential suitor and a girl that, or a woman, I should say, a woman that can win his heart, because this is all about Brendan. Brendan is getting pampered here. We're not going to tear him apart the entire time. We're trying to find him somebody who we think deserves him. And Brendan, to me, is a catch.
Thanks.
Agreed.
I appreciate that.
And so I think we'll probably even extend it if people want to do like we did with Alex. If we'll do a second round of first round people that want to send it starting this week before next week's episode. Get them in quick. irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com.
Well, and it's not even next week because next week is actually our best of. It's our first ever best of, which is exciting.
Doing a flashback episode.
Yeah. Alex, are we doing early episodes too? Are they taking it? Are they taking?
I think
stuff
it's.
from.
Yeah, we were going to do a best of the year, like best of 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. I thought we were taking back.
But yeah, I kind of fucked up on the original deadline I posted for this because I wasn't thinking about the fact that we have that whole extra week. So we could extend the deadline for this contest until like January 4th.
Ooh,
perfect.
Excellent.
Okay, so you got until the new year. Make it great.
So if what you're hearing, I mean, Brendan, you love him already. If you're familiar and hanging on to our show and listening, you know Brendan, we love him. Yeah, and his trials and tribulations with women, as most people have.
As I'm very public about.
That's right. And Brendan, if you are interested in submitting and potentially wooing our man Brendan, then submit your 1-minute video. Email it to irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com. You know what we expect. You saw the production value of the last couple. We expect even better this time around because women are more organized and they seem thorough in their, in the way they approach their business. I don't know what the fuck. I was trying to find something at the end of that sentence.
I'm hanging on, buddy.
Yeah, just submit a goddamn video for Brendan. Brendan, first question though.
Sure.
Genuinely, what is the most important thing to you in a potential chick?
If she can make me laugh, and if we laugh together. If I don't make her laugh, it's got to go both ways. You know what I mean? She could be super funny, but if I'm like, because when I first meet a woman, I'm very much like, I'm a circus bear. I'm coming in. I got the unicycle going. I'm juggling with banana peels, letting them fall to the ground, and then slipping on them. You know what I mean? I'm very much a fucking clown.
You're desperate.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be short and to the point, sure. But that's I like the circus bear analogy.
I like making ladies laugh. It's what I got. That, my clear skin, and my good eyes.
That's
my
right.
Good small eyes. That's what I like. I like a girl that I can laugh with and just have a good time.
Okay, and now
if we're talking during a movie, it's great. Sometimes you're sometimes if they're talking to you during a movie and they're not saying anything that's worth talking, I get I'm like, I'm like, you know, I
Even
become
one
the
person,
Grinch.
it could be you guys, anybody talking during a movie. There's nothing I hate more. Unless it's like Zach Amico's podcast where we're like purposely there for that reason. But if it's like, if we're just sitting, if we're in a theater watching a movie together and someone keeps being like, oh my God, can you fucking believe that fucking shit? I'm always like,
Yeah.
It's fucking an hour and 30 minutes to figure out everything about this story.
Of course.
Just let's talk about it after.
It's almost amazing to me how many times Nicole like turns to me and is like, what's gonna happen? And I'm like, I'm watching it too. What the fuck do you mean?
For the
like,
first time.
Yeah, asking me questions about a thing that we couldn't possibly know. And I'm like, I don't know. But I think it has to do with the point in the relationship you're at, because I remember when you first start dating a girl and you're renting a movie together or something like that, chances are you're like talking or
the
fingering.
whole time. You're talking the entire
time.
time.
You don't care about the movie because you're more worried about the like, can we make out? Can we, you almost watch purposely bad movies so that you can like not have to pay attention. No one's watching Goodfellas on a first date being like, let's just fucking figure it out.
Disagree. I used to like watch Saving Private Ryan so my parents couldn't hear that.
What's that?
Fingering.
Oh, that's
right.
I thought you had Maggie Simpson in the room.
Yeah, so they couldn't hear me fingering the baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Baby's mouth.
Yeah, but I don't want to put any.
And now that's a delightful answer, Brendan. But
Well,
like that's the first thing you look for. You don't look for looks. Like,
of course, I look for looks.
Okay, so of course, but tell what's your look? Like, different guys go for different chicks. Do you like a goth girl? Do you like a preppy girl? Do you like an athletic girl? Probably not.
I feel like you like a punk girl. I like punk show
girls.
Girl.
I like.
So you like somebody that you could go to Warped Tour with.
I don't have like a type like that. Like, I'm not like, oh, that stuff gets me. I find things in. I find things in different women that I'm like, oh, I like that about her specifically. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't want to put pressure to like.
That's actually that's a better thing. Now it's a wider net.
And I don't want to like.
It's a good thing, but it's also like when Michael Scott gives Pam the task of writing everybody's indefinable qualities.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Cool. You can find them in each person individually.
Yeah, but like there's certain things where like I really like getting to know a girl. Like I like knowing their like specific stuff where they're like, I like this, and I'm like, whoa, me, that's awesome. Wow, cool. Like if a girl, I don't know, whatever. But it's hard. It's a hard fucking thing because I don't have like a I love blondes kind of thing.
Right.
I'm like if I connect with you, I'm into that.
Okay, then hopefully that instills some confidence in any ladies and or guys that are thinking about submitting. Brendan has a variety of people that he may be into. Depends who you are as a person.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Correct.
Exactly.
All right, excellent. Feeney, do you have any follow-ups? Anything you think the audience should know before we get into the submissions?
I just think if you're going to submit a video, be leery even about the jabs in which if you try and throw pepper in some jokes because Brendan did put the pressure to be funny.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. I no, don't take that as pressure at all. Like,
could you imagine Brendan on The Real Bachelor being like, the host is like, and let's see if Brendan gives her he's like, shut your face. So who else?
Well, I was trying to say that before, and you guys kept talking over me. So I wanted
almost
to say,
like it's our show.
Almost,
sucks, doesn't it?
It's almost like I'm your guest. So I wanted to say, like, no pressure. You don't fucking have to make me laugh. I'm your pawn. I'm a knight. Okay, I only move L's.
Dude, you're a rook at best.
I'm a queen, baby, and I should be treated as such.
So I don't even remember what the point I was, but so Brendan, you got to keep in mind too, one of the most sensitive people you'll ever meet. He's got a heart of gold, but he is wildly sensitive. So just be wary on the jabs coming
Sally.
in on him.
A heart of gold that will pop on a Nerf football.
Look, don't come in busting my balls because I don't like that shit. If I don't know you, I hate it. And I hate it if I know you, okay? Because it's a lot harder to be nice and vulnerable, okay? So just know that's Yeah, it is. It's incredibly harder to be nice.
No.
See?
Then funny?
Well.
Wow. That looked like a snake eating its own dick. All right, let's I think we can start playing. Let's check out some of these videos, I guess. Let's see what we got.
I'm excited.
I'm nervous. Is that KP?
Hello, my name is KP Burke. I would like to be considered for a bachelorette position for Brendan Sagalow. I think good old Sags and me would make a nice match because we're both broad-shouldered, large-headed Irish boys from the East Coast area. So therefore we have that in common. And then also there's this weird phenomenon that would occur where if the two of us were to Dutch rudder one another, it would almost look like we were twins jerking off into each other, which is kind of a cool thing. Also, once the heads of our penises are pressed up against one another, it almost might be like that double dragon type thing where all of a sudden we would have superpowers that we didn't know happened. So I'm just a Ken looking for his Ryu, and I think Brendan Sagalow is my Street Fighter too. Also, I want to raise a family. All right, Brendan? So you and me, let's get together. Let's figure out a way for you to have some kids. All right? And we'll have an Irish setter named Bonnie McFarlane.
That I want to raise a family was the most authentic thing I've ever heard.
That was so real.
That was great. And
That was
from the lips of an adopted babe.
That was
First
great.
off, he looks great. He looks great.
Yeah,
He's,
I mean, he does look
slimmed
like
down.
he does look like John Caparulo caught out at sea, but he does.
Yeah, his skin soaked up a bunch of salt and sun.
Yeah, he looks like he's been on an island for a while. But in terms of jawline, I mean, he looks
so
real
far,
good.
KP is in the lead here.
This is interesting too because KP is also offered to cut Brendan out of our threesome. So he's said he would also.
KP wants to replace me.
He wants to usurp your position. So this, and he sent in some stats. That's cool. KP Burke, age 33, sign Virgo, political positions. This kid's getting spicy early. Whatever makes Brendan come, baby.
Okay. All right.
Previous relationships. I'm sadly straight, but ready for a relationship based off compatible pizza toppings.
Wow.
This guy knows the way to my heart.
Holy shit. Why I'm the right choice. I'm the baddest bitch in Jersey.
I don't think I know who KP is anymore. Who is this?
This is the funniest I've ever seen him.
Looking forward to winning it all in SAG's sweet, sweet beehole. KP Burke.
Wow. KP,
Wow.
strong.
And you know
very impressive.
Opening.
I want to give him points for not plugging his Instagram. Like he could have easily been like at KP
or
Burke does comedy or whatever horseshit he's done. Yeah, or whatever his podcast is called.
I'm almost disappointed he didn't.
Right.
Are you gonna hold that against him?
That kind of takes some. Yeah. Wow. I need somebody who doesn't need me to tell them what to do with their career. Okay.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? But KP, good video, dude. And I don't like that his room is dark. That makes me sad. That his walls are black.
It makes you sad that he can afford curtains?
No. That his walls are black.
Alex!
Thanks, Alex. Why don't you start laughing at some shit that I say, you fuck? God damn it.
Wow, first she rejects you on Bachelorette Alex, and now she's
what the
just...
fuck, Alex?
Wait, can we go back to KP's video? I want to see what darkness, like, I didn't even notice that. It almost just felt like he was telling us a scary story. Brendan, is your computer about to die?
Yeah. Of course it is.
It's a natural thing. Remember when Feeney didn't have Wi-Fi and we just let him not have Wi-Fi for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks? But then when my computer died, yeah, you never have Wi-Fi, dude. Your shit sucks.
Okay,
but then when I can't have to charge my phone, it's a whole big to do.
Let's circle back to this personal feud.
My laptop.
Circle
back to this personal feud.
Yeah, let's circle back. Here's the thing, Brendan. The lighting isn't the best. It definitely makes him look a little murdery. But
yeah,
the blue painting, the pop of white ceiling, the framed pictures, and the salt lamp creating ambiance with a mounted television. Are you one to thumb your nose at that?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't judge anybody that likes that, but my gut does not like that. I don't like. I would walk into that room and
your
I would
gut
go,
has a big opinions.
It's got a big, it's got a lot of room. It's got more room than my brain. But I would walk into there and I would go, "Can we hang out in your fucking den, dude? This is like I feel like I'm in his childhood home, like bedroom."
Why? Because it's well put together?
No. Is it put? I mean, sure. Yeah, fine.
Do you not? I mean, I don't know, Feeney. What do you think? I'm seeing an adult room.
I personally don't like that.
Yeah, this means that he went to the painstaking, doing to paint the wall beautifully, might add. And I noticed a nice trim around the entire thing, and a mounted TV into a wall. Very difficult to pull off. You got to find studs. Sometimes the wall isn't thick enough. You got to reinforce it. It's a whole thing. I do wish he hid the cables, but
Yes, yeah, that's if I had my druthers, I would put some sort of cable hiding device right there. However, if I know KP and he is a man with his hands, so he could polish your knob with the best of them, Brendan.
Yes.
He probably hand stained those wood trimmings, and the only thing you hand stain are your towels.
That's funny. Good one. Yeah. Is this Comedy Fight Club?
Sorry,
no,
KP gets me in the mood.
That's funny. I do like the rock salt light thing that he has in the back.
It's very it's sexy. There's something about it that
I don't think the room is sexy at all. I mean, the jackets that are shown right there make me like, please close the closet door.
Right.
What do you think from a man who just learned to stop putting his robes and towels?
Yeah. What do you think? Your room that looks like the back room in a butcher shop is sexy, or what?
It's okay. You put a certain light on. You put a yellow light in here. It's got a nice warm feel.
Yeah, but you decided to put it.
Well, I mean, look at those covers are nice. The bed frame is nice.
No, that you absolutely have. Listen, I'm not bagging on you, buddy. I'm just saying, I think KP's got a lot to offer.
All right, okay. So let's go to the next video.
So do I. I'm nitpicking. This is very important to me.
Okay. Alex has the same covers as you, Brendan.
Cool. I don't give a fuck, Alex. You're not my friend anymore.
That was something you could have said
that's
months ago.
That you guys that's something we could have friends.
Yeah, Brendan.
That's something
you want to
that
know?
we could have went into our gigantic sex time. Okay, so
gigantic sex time.
Gigantic sex time. That's the name.
I'm
of
a virgin.
The show.
I gotta tell you guys,
we're having so much intercourse sex. It's crazy.
It wouldn't surprise me if Brendan either lays the best pipe on earth or he's never even gotten near a vagina.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
I'm going to let you know it's both.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
All right, let's see the next entry.
Hey guys, love the podcast. Brendan, I think you are adorable and hilarious.
Did you guys see it?
It sounded like a woman, though.
It did sound like a woman. Yeah, it's gonna. The video's gonna come up. It's gonna be KP again doing a voice.
Dude, if it is, he's got it. There we go. Whoa. Okay, great filter.
Wow.
Hey guys, love the podcast. Brendan, I think you are adorable and hilarious. I can tell by what I hear. It seems like you kind of enjoy being roasted, and that just so happens to be one of the ways I show affection. So this could possibly work. I could make you eggs, and not to brag, but I can also make toast without burning it. Just a few of my skill sets. I am 27. I live in South Jersey. I'm kind of basic, but hope you pick me anyway. And I have boobs you can draw.
I mean, we just met the future Mrs. Sagalow.
Holy shit! I came just now.
The thing that's crazy to me is everything was awesome about that. The one part that I have, it's nothing to do with her. It has to do with Brendan. When she said she was from South Jersey, Brendan made a fucking like a judgmental face, which is hilarious because he has 46 minutes in his act about talking about how he loves girls from trashy places.
I know.
It's like,
dude, when I made that
dream.
face, I know. When I made that face, my mind went, "What are you doing? This is this is who you like.
This is it."
Yeah. I went, "Ew," and then I went, but that was probably when I came. And I went, "Oh, my pants,
gross."
I mean,
Brendan is from New Jersey, New York, so I don't understand how you.
That was a
I gotta
killer,
tell you, I love that
video,
man. Yeah, when she started off in like great, just compliments. All of that, she did say, I enjoy being roasted, which if she knew our group chat, not the case.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. But she said, I enjoy roasting. So she was like, she's a ball breaker, basically is what she's saying. But what I like about it,
I like a ball breaker.
What I like about it is that she said it and then didn't instantly turn into Sybil and say, yeah, you fat fuck with a little pindly dick, didn't say any bullshit.
Yeah.
She just was like, this is for as things develop and we have some sort of rapport.
She can make you laugh.
Comfortable. Yeah, I'll be able to make you laugh and I'll showcase it later. Also, in the beginning, this is my instant analysis. I thought she even picked up the phone a little bit because she recognized the cleavage. But what I didn't see coming was that the reason she picked it up was so she could full-blown reveal it. I mean,
genius.
That is as solid as a crescendo ending as we've ever seen.
I didn't know Wes Anderson was submitting to this.
Subtitting.
Wow.
Great video, great personality, great teeth. Great smile,
great teeth, great eyebrows. I was really
great eyebrows.
The
good
eyebrows
filter,
were great.
Boobs, the work. I mean, what else? It's very cute.
Great
very,
smile. So good.
I mean, she would really. She's one of those people where if you were next to her, if you were with her, it would make you look better by comparison, just by being as her on your arm.
I almost want to tell her. I almost want to tell her to run.
Well, I wouldn't be able to catch her, so you could light jog.
Hurry, light jog away. Walk at a brisk pace.
Hurry, don't stop for a second and walk.
Walk at a gentle incline, and he's miles away.
I would say this though, I would like to see more of her room, just to kind of get some sort of she could be hiding something,
Well, hey, we got rounds. I think in terms of just a taste, this is pretty strong.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
This is Samantha.
Great eyes.
Gorgeous
I love eyes too, by the way.
Samantha,
you love eyes.
Great eyes. Yeah, this is a strong first. So Samantha, I'm gonna write down some of these names and stuff. Samantha, that's one of the strongest out the gate videos.
That was great. Good stuff.
Brendan's
great.
Blood
She's great.
I'm flooded out of his head.
Great submission. Lovely eyes, lovely boobs.
We have one left today.
Okay, we got one more.
So again, guys, this is a very impressive 3 people that we brought in without any real advertising.
Yeah, 72 hours notice.
72 hours notice. So with that in mind, please submit 1-minute videos if you think you got competition for KP Burke and Samantha, right? That was her name?
Samantha.
And whoever is coming next, everybody's bringing high heat. You can be in this too. Be a part of the show. Try to win a date with Brendan Sagalow and Brendan. I keep saying it. I don't know why. With my man Brendan and
we should have a Brendan counter for this episode.
I gotta say, I am desperately hoping this next video is a woman, just so that as far as it. We at least 2 out of 3 aren't a joke.
Yeah. And guys, I mean, a vaccine is coming, so this could turn into something real quickly.
Not to mention, Brendan pays zero attention to any sort of rules or societal implementations in terms of quarantine and stuff. So he'll come see you tomorrow.
Not true. And if I don't, you don't. Because I'm with Feeney 90% of my life.
Were you with me yesterday? Or were you with other
I was
comedians?
with you yesterday.
When?
We filmed yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Then you went to a different group of people.
And we were all coughing in our eyes. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
All right. Next submission.
Our next submission is
Ralph Sutton.
Kendra.
Oh, wow. She's doing a full body in the kitchen.
Whoa.
Tattoos.
Gotta say,
dress.
I love the kitchen already. I love the tattoos. I love the dress.
There's a I can't read the sign, but there's a Guinness sign, and there's also one that says helping something have sex. So that's good.
Oh,
she's subtly putting the words have sex in there.
Wow,
So
is
that's
she
great.
a Disney illustrator?
She's got family. She's got family pictures. She's got family pictures on the fridge and friends pictures, so you know she's got a social life.
I think it says helping drunk people have sex since 1789.
Oh, got you.
Wow.
Nice.
Got you.
Hell
Great.
yeah.
Oh, it's another Guinness one. Got it. Now I see what that is. Okay. All right. Let's watch it.
Oh, she titled it.
Ready. Hi, my name's Kendra. I live in Portland, Oregon, and I'm hoping to move to New York once it's safe with the pandemic, so hopefully we can hang out then. Let's see. In my free time, I like to hang out at dive bars, go to thrift shops, and hang out with my cat. I also like to listen to podcasts, and my two favorite podcasts are Garbage Days and What's the Scenario. I am employed. I have my master's in sexuality studies, and I'm a certified sex educator. So if you've got any questions, I can help you. I'm submitting this because I think Brendan is so hilarious. I think he has the cutest smile, and he's fucking hot. So I really hope I am chosen so we can chat more. So thanks for listening to this.
Oh my God.
All right. Pause it.
Whoa, do not pause it.
Oh, do an Eminem song.
Wow. I thought it was
you,
done.
Samantha.
Oh my God.
Thank God Samantha was before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God. What are the odds? KP Burke we
s-
thought was a gentleman. Turns out he had to show some fucking geesh. Just
There's so much to unpack here. I thought, here's my initial response, my initial reaction. I thought when she turned around, because she was at the stove, she was going to turn around with ready-made eggs. I thought she was going to do like, here's the eggs that I know how to make thing. But
God,
she was
Feeney,
just doing a
we'd be
shot
such
of
good
Jameson.
women.
yeah. But she was just doing a shot of Jameson to get her confidence up to do the
Love
thing.
it.
I like that. She's moving to New York.
Yeah.
She's got nothing but nice things to say. Sexuality coach and master's degree. So smart as hell.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So here, my absolute first thing was one, we were being infiltrated by Antifa. So that was my first thought. I was like, oh no, Chaz is coming to Irish Goodbye podcast. And then but I like her look. I like how she looks with you, Brendan. I feel like she's like Velma from Scooby-Doo if she went to Hot Topic. Like she's got that vibe to her. She's very sweet. My one issue would be the sex education thing. Like, I don't know. What is that like? Does that desensitize you to sex? Does that make you more of a professor?
I'd love to find out.
No, it turns into Meet the Fockers, where you're all of a sudden they're very open and expressive and they're willing to have sex in creative places. Then Brendan can ask such questions like, where is the clitoris? And things like that. So that he can,
What's this thing?
And why do babies come out of butts? So
even though that was a good point based off of a fictional movie, I don't know. I am nervous that it could go the other way. But then
me too, a little bit.
But then then she lost me a little. I mean, listen, she said Garbage Days first, which she's trying to appeal to Brendan, so I completely understand. Then she said What's the Scenario, which makes me feel very good, but you're submitting to Irish Goodbye, and for that not even to be in your top podcast definitely hurt a little bit. However,
she's appealing to me.
Right. Yeah, I know.
And why is your light so bright all of a sudden?
I don't know, man.
I was just going to say, how did it get so much better suddenly?
Is it good?
Yeah. I love how Brendan's like, it's better, I'll fix it.
I don't know.
You look like a porcelain doll.
But then the end, I mean, doing the Eminem thing, knowing Brendan, saying you're hot. She's vibed out with you, dude. She really is attracted to you. She likes who you are as a person. She's listened to you audio, and she's moving to your city. So the potential to get to know somebody and then reap the benefits of eventual in-person contact. Man, what a delightful position you're being put in.
What was her name again?
That was Kendra.
Kendra. Nice name too.
That's a
I like
good
that
name.
Brendan, what are your thoughts?
I like her kitchen. So far, first shot. I love the kitchen. Love how like sweet it fits her. I feel like she knows what she's doing as far as aesthetic goes.
She goes to dive bars, so you could take her to McSwiggins. Oh, she has a bio too. She wrote. Let's read
goodness.
this. Hello, I'm writing to submit my video to the Bachelor competition. My name is Kendra, 31 years old, live in Portland, but I do plan to move to New York when it's safe. I'm submitting since Brendan is one of my favorite comedians. I've also been a dry spell and banned from Tinder. So
we need to hear more.
I need to know why about that, because that's going to be that'll be what is the deal breaker there.
Maybe she was just doing too much fucking.
Brendan's like, weird. I'm also banned from Tinder.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think Tinder has banned me, but I'm still on it.
In my free time, I like to.
You're the only shadow banned person on Tinder.
I'm tweeting that.
In my free time, I'd like to spend with my cat, cook, and travel. I consider myself to be compassionate, adventurous, and honest.
Wow.
My career is important to me, and I have mostly worked with reproductive health and harm reduction programs. Okay, so she's also helping people in terms of harm reduction. So she's on your days when you get Scrumpers Branders or you get your saddies, she can help you
saddies. Yeah,
navigate through those waters. I'm taking a break from social services at the moment. Oh, she's not going to realize what she's signing up for then. And I'm currently working at a bougie grocery store. My friends describe me as a geriatric Lolita. That's pretty cute. Since I sometimes talk like an old lady and love old musicals and shit. Brendan loves musicals, but at the same time, I have the style and palette of an adorable girl. This bio sounds so serious and long, but what I really love is hanging with friends, having drinks, and telling funny stories. That's why she should have Irish Goodbye as one of her favorite podcasts, obviously. Thanks. Anyway, thanks for reading this and watching my thirsty, slightly tequila drunk video. Hope this video works. If not, I can try to send it another way. Okay, gotcha. So, bye, Kendra. Great. I mean,
I love the bio. I love how serious she took it. I wish Samantha had a bio. But I think all three of them, even KP. I'm like, hey, fucking KP,
keep your options open, pal.
Yeah.
This has legitimately been the most positive reinforcement Brendan has experienced in a long time, and I'm here for it.
I've been feeling good. I haven't had a drink in almost 2 weeks, and I'm losing weight, and this was something I very much needed as far as ego goes,
Yikes.
Why yikes?
That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.